Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to teach you how you can trade your cryptocurrencies. Now the exchange that I'm going to use as an example is Binance. Now Binance is one of the more popular exchanges. I believe that in the States you cannot use it anymore, but in Canada you're still able to use it. So I think as of September 2019, Binance was no longer allowed in, or US citizens were no longer allowed to use Binance, but that hasn't changed for Canadians. So so Binance is one of the quote unquote more trusted exchanges. I mean, it depends on who you ask. Some people who you ask will say Binance is kind of shady because of the founder, and some people will say, no, I don't really care about that. Binance, I trust them with my coins. So one thing about cryptocurrency trading or exchanges is that once you send your coins to the exchange, they really don't have an obligation to give you those coins. So they don't really have an obligation to give it back to you when you request it. So having said that, if you send your cryptocurrency to Binance and they close shop, you might not get those coins back. So, but that's the case with all exchanges, most exchanges, anyways. And so, Binance is a crypto to crypto only exchange. That means you can only send cryptocurrencies to them. They will not accept fiat, which is like money, physical, or I guess money. You cannot send money over and then trade against whatever your local currency is. So you cannot trade against Canadian dollars, for example. You can only trade against cryptocurrencies. But there's something called stablecoins, which I'll talk about in a second when I show you. So one thing about Binance that I like is if you go to the markets section, if you go to the markets, you'll see that they have a plethora of markets. So you can have your favorites. You can have BNB markets. So BNB is their native coin, so you can trade against their coin. You can trade against Bitcoin. So if you have Bitcoin and you want to, example, buy Ethereum or trade Ethereum for Bitcoin, then that's what you do. They also have altcoins. You could trade Ethereum against Neo or BNB or Ontology, for example. And here are the USD markets. Now, these are not real US dollars. They're stable coins. And the idea is that one of these USDT is the equivalent of one US dollar. So that's the idea behind it. So there's various stable coins. You can even check them out. There's USDT, Paxos, USDC. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you what trading would look like. Okay, so one thing about Binance that I do like as well is they've got lots of volume, right? So lots of volume and lots of options. So let's just look at how we would trade. So I've already sent over some Ethereum. So we'll trade Ethereum for some US dollars. So if you click on that, and you'll be brought to a page that looks like this. This is the basic page, right? So there's an advanced page as well. But if I go to advanced, I'm going to click on that just because it's a little bit nicer. So when I go to my trading account on Binance, you'll see that they've partnered with TradingView, and you can set up your charts, right? So I mean, for myself, I have the RSI and MACD here, and you can even have Bollinger Bands, so on and so forth. But yeah, they've partnered with TradingView, so you can set up your whatever it is that you want up here, whatever indicators that you want on your charts. But we're gonna look at this. Okay, so this here on the side is the order book, right? So these are the orders that are being placed. So these are the sell orders, these are the buy orders. This is the orders that went through. So if you can see here, these are the orders that are going through right now, live, right? If you look down here, it tells you what your open orders are. So I'll show you in a second. And down here is where you're going to place your orders. So there's margin and exchange. So I'm just going to do exchange for now. But let's just pretend that I wanted to buy some Ethereum, right? I mean, I don't really have much USDT, but just as an example. So let's just say I want to put in a limit price. Limit price means I actually want to put in the actual value. So let's just say I want to put $160 and I want to buy one full Ethereum at $160. So then I would click the buy button, and then a order would be placed here. You'll see in a second. Or let's just say I want to sell. Let's just say I want to sell $185, and I want to sell all my Ethereum for that, right? So I'll get 22 USDT for that. So I'm just going to show you as an example. This is called a limit order, where you get to set the price, right? So here I'm setting the price, and then I'll click, sell. Let's just say, as an example, it'll come here, right? It'll say your order has been submitted, and I'll just have to wait, or it might get filled, might not. Who knows? Because right now it's only 178. I want to sell for 180. We'll see if it goes there. I'm going to cancel that. So order deleted. What market value is that means you are going to buy using whatever amount that you have. So for example, I want to buy 100%, use my $1 and something cent, 22 cents to buy the market value. That means whatever the first price is on here, and assuming that they're selling enough. So example, if I wanted to buy 10 Ethereum, well now I can, but if I wanted to buy 10, let's say 100 Ethereum, no one here is offering 100 Ethereum at whatever price, right? So that would eat up the order book. So that means it would keep going up until my 100 Ethereum order has been filled. And that's the same thing with selling. If you're market selling and you want to sell, let's just say 100%, right? If it's 100 Ethereum, you would keep selling until until cumulatively it gets to 100. So like right about maybe here, right? So that would be kind of how market orders work. Now stop limit, if I go to stop limit, so what a stop limit is I'm going to, I'll show you on the sell side first, just because I have the actual Ethereum. So let's just say I want to, I say, okay, if this amount goes beyond or goes under 175, right? And then I will sell it until 174, and I want to sell everything. Let's just say that. So this is a stop limit. That means if I click sell, it's going to say at 100, see if the last price drops to 175, that means I will keep selling this Ethereum until it hits 174, or the best price up until $174. So I would, example, if I confirm it, then it would be here, but I'm just going to cancel it because I really don't need it. And that's kind of the same thing as with the buy. If I wanted to, let's just say, I say, oh, if it goes over $200, right? So $200, I'm going to keep buying until it hits 201. I'm going to buy one Ethereum. So that means if the price goes over, the second the price goes over $200, I will buy one Ethereum up until it hits, until my order's filled, up until the price of $201. So that's what stop limit orders are. Now I want to talk about something here called margin. Now I've never used it with Binance, but margin is basically borrowing money to you're going to borrow some money in order to make a trade. So let's just say, I don't know, transfer, let's see. So you have an exchange wallet here, right? And you want to trade it to your margin account. So just like in stocks, commodities, you need a margin account. So you have to have an exchange wallet, which doesn't allow you to trade on margin, and then you have to send it to your margin wallet. So example, oh, I want to send all of it, right? So let's just say I want to send all this to my margin wallet. That means I can use this amount as collateral to borrow. I can borrow other crypto. So that's what that means. So let's just say you can borrow to sell, or you can borrow to buy. So let's just say you want to borrow USDT. So you want to borrow $100 USDT because you think the price is going to go up, and then you put in a buy order, and then it goes up, and you make more money. Basically, when you buy or sell on margin, it amplifies your gains and losses. So if you buy on margin, it will it increases the amount of money that you make, but it also increases the amount of money that you lose if the trade goes the opposite way of what you expected it to do. It's just like buying a home on a mortgage. If you buy a home on a mortgage or with a mortgage, and you leverage yourself, you pay your 20% down payment, and you have 80% that you've borrowed, and if the house goes up, well, you've done pretty well. But if it goes the opposite way, then it's going against you. So again, personally, I wouldn't suggest using margin for anyone. Margin is not a good idea unless you know what you're doing, unless you've been trading for some time and you have experience with it. But for myself, I don't really trade margin. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much what Binance is about. And if you're interested in signing up, there's a link down below that would help me out, but it costs nothing to you. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or a like. Comment down below on what you liked about this video, what you didn't like, and yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Other than that, bye for now.